Curves, and he takes that Sam McLeod with him. They all survive, and there's more contact, and a huge moment this time coming up towards Les Combes, and that, I'm afraid, is the Carlin car upside down. Menezes, I fear, it skates up the escape road straight away. We go safety car, understandably so. The safety car is going to be out for the third time of asking, and that, again, at a fast part of the circuit, contact as one driver was in the slipstream, another tries to defend. We've got 8 3/4 minutes to go. The safety car is deployed once more, and straight away the marshals and the medical team are there to attend to the situation going up towards Les Combes. But that, as you saw, was a big moment indeed, and it is Gustavo Menezes, I'm afraid, who... Look what happens. He's tucked up behind Brandon Maisano, and there just isn't room for the both of them, and as he clips him, the air gets underneath. There's one impact, look, against the wall. He skates along upside down. There's a second impact as it comes back down onto the ground. I mean, that's a terrifying situation for the driver. You don't know where you are, what you're going to end up hitting next. Thankfully, it comes to a halt. But then, prop it up on 2 wheels and let him scramble out, please. There'll be British marshals, I'm sure, watching this, thinking, we wouldn't do it like that. And there's a good reason.
And Richard Antonucci, Italian-American, born in Rome, former karting champion, and he's pushing hard again right on the tail of Kovalainen, heading down into the Knickerbrook chicane, goes down the inside. Surely that is superb late braking, and it brings Watts right up onto the tail of Kovalainen, who's lost his momentum. Kovalainen blocking one way, then the other, up Bay Hill, and whoa, that is superb blocking stuff by Kovalainen. And Watts is desperate to find a way through, up to Druids. Oh, and he's on the back wheel! And that is a horrendous accident. Catapulted across the track onto the tyre wall. The damage obvious on the back of Kovalainen's car. The rest of the car's still running. Colin Brown inside Blake Walker now for 5th place. And that is a very welcome sight. Danny Watts walking away from one of the biggest accidents I've ever seen in Formula Renault. Let's have another look at that again. Kovalainen blocking his line, quite legitimate. Watts trying to find the gap, thinks he sees the gap here, goes for it. And there's the contact between the two cars, over and out. And that is at well over 130 miles an hour, testimony to the strength of these carbon fibre monocoques. And the Formula Renault car absorbing that accident, the engine torn completely out of the...
Just ahead of the Max Wissel using...
Oh! What's that?
I don't know quite. That was a shot from the Olympiakos car. We'll try and get another view of that. He's running in...
Oh, that's a huge accident by Chris van der Drift. He's gone over the back of the AS Roma car, and that is incredible. That's got to be a red flag. It looks like he's been in the trees.
So the Olympiakos car in the middle of the track there, on the approach to Hawthorns, cars avoiding the debris, and people still not quite sure. They're still racing, of course. They're still hard at it because there's no yellows out there at the moment. There's a red flag. Roughly what happened, he ran into the back of the car ahead, but let's just see it at real time here. And in fact, that's interesting. Oh, it was a miscommunication effectively, because AS Roma was moving to the right to let him pass on the left.
Yeah, and here we go. Oh, and that's a terrible accident.
A massive accident, absolutely huge. The car splitting in half, which is what it's designed to do. The engine and gearbox splitting away from the monocoque.
German. Oh, and that's Gonzalez and Kral. And Kral looks to be in some pain. And that was down in 12th position, that battle. Gonzalez in the yard and Kral in the Supernova car. They're moving Gonzalez's car out of the way. So coming down then, oh, and over the back of Gonzalez, and that's huge. Lands on the gearbox. Oh my word, that is an enormous accident for Joseph Kral. No braking means that there is no speed rubbed off at all before he goes into the barrier at the end of turn 17. And that is one of the fastest points on this circuit. And that's slow-mo. Oh, and here we go at full speed. That's just so quick. no time to react, and as soon as he was airborne, he was an absolute...
I think so. And no disservice to Bridgestone. I have to say, if I was going to be talking to the men at Bridgestone, I'd be saying, oh, and it's a huge accident. Adam Carroll hit from behind by Jose Maria Lopez. He was having another look at Valles, and after rolling about 4 times, the car lands mercifully the right way up, and the Ulsterman is okay. That was a huge bunch behind Adrian Valles, and of course he went over the top of Valles, who has lost his wing, but it didn't touch even the roll hoop. Camera's still there. That was a monster shunt. That is a very good thing to see. Carroll walking away. Adam too, and
there.
Oh, well,
I think Adam was just taken by surprise just how slow Valles was there.
Valles maybe a little earlier on the brakes. That's the impact. Oh, that is a phenomenal picture. One row.
Can he close? It's 3.6 seconds as they head through one. Oh, we've got a crash. Oh, a wicked crash involving 2 cars at least. He's won it. He's going to win it. Franchitti has won it. Ryan Hunter-Reay involved in this.
See Mike moving inside the car. He's going on the inside of Ryan Hunter-Reay. This reminds me almost of Dan Weldon's crash here in turn 3 and 4 quite a few years ago, and the car is up into the fence, which is almost reminiscent of Kenny Brack's accident at Texas quite a few years ago, guys. Very, very lucky.
You know, he was incredibly lucky that he did not go head into that fence. That is a horrible impact. Wow.
They try to go 3 wide. That doesn't work very well.
And contact for the 2 leaders, Enerson and PK getting into each other.
Sorales actually replaced the front wing, went back out, but then lap 14, PK was in control. Enerson greatly missed the braking point, and this was frightening.
Huge crash there for RC Enerson, and he's so lucky to walk away from that incident. Scary stuff.
Look at this, the best news of the day. He climbs out. The new Dallara IL-15 did its job. Safely out of the car, RC Enerson.
You know what happens next? Go! Great start by Montoya, but Ralf Schumacher's away well as also alongside him into the first corner, and one of the Ferraris has been left behind. It's Rubens Barrichello.
No, it's Michael
massive
Schumacher.
accident. Luciano Berti rolls it. Luciano Berti got tangled up in a huge roll. That's sure to bring out the red flag, Martin.
I think it'll have to be. It's Michael got away slowly and then just did not accelerate properly at all as Rubens Barrichello is up the inside, and there is the damage. Once again, Michael Schumacher out of this race in the first corner, but the car parked absolutely in the middle of the racetrack. Surely they will red flag it. The safety car is standing by, it says on the computer. They've had to do that, and now we're seeing a replay this time. Michael Schumacher was slow away. I was watching him out of the window, but then he just stopped accelerating completely. Look, the pack goes around him, and oh look, completely unsighted behind the Jordan was Luciano Berti. Collects an Arrows of Bonaldi on the way. That car then is a sledge, and it's just heading its way straight to the scene of the final part.
Take a look. Oh, and we have a crash at the first turn after they cross the finish line. It is Koski Matsura and Dario Franchitti. It was after the finish. Dario came across the line in 8th. Koski a lap down in 11th. You saw the close finish for 2nd through about 6th position. It was...
He was trying to get underneath.
Oh my gosh, he goes up and over again?
Oh, can you count this as lucky or what in the world?
That looked like one of those hydroplane blowovers.
My goodness.
All right, here we go. We're going to go on board.
Now, you're not riding aboard a jet fighter right now when you start to see the sky. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
He just checks up and
touches the tire, up and over. Reminds me of a ride in a fighter plane.
This is unreal. And there goes the onboard camera.
Oh. You know, we saw him take the steering wheel off, climbing out of the car.
There he goes flying by that camera.
Remember, they're still doing 175 miles an hour just as soon as you get off the throttle going into that turn.
Is about to get win number 43. Will Power victorious for the first time at Iowa Speedway. From 22nd on the grid, and Stingray Rob is upside down. Massive crash at the end of this race. Rossi, Ed Carpenter, and Kyle Kirkwood.
Heading into the back straight, all sorts of chaos.
This is what happened. This is our first look at it. Wow.
Did Rossi run out of gas?
Oh, that is
my gosh.
air time.
Wow.
For Stingray Rob. Yeah, something clearly wrong with the 7 of Alex Rossi. Slow off of 2.
Then these are just cars that were reacting because Rossi would have been spinning across the track. And I'm sure Kyle Kirkwood and Ed Carpenter. Here's another angle.
I mean, yeah, Edge is losing it on his own. Same with Kyle Kirkwood, just getting on the brakes. When you see an Indy car in the air upright like that, you tend to react in ways that might not be normal for if you see it.
There's 70 more horsepower, significantly more downforce. It's a different bodywork on the car. The brakes are better. There's contact there. A driver's gone over. Contact coming out of Billy Mitchell into turn 14, climbed over the back, and we have a big shunt. Full course yellow as a driver climbed over the back coming into 14, the braking zone to transition back onto the straightaway, and that was a tough one. Trying to figure who that is potentially following. Coming across a little bit, like trying to crisscross. Big contact.
Misjudged the crossover there a little bit.
Yeah, and then there the thing starts rolling. And then look at the halo. It is just such a fantastic addition to these cars.